if the draft board shakes out how they want it, apparently the Bears know what position they are going to go with at the number 9 overall pick. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Style back at it with another video talking, of course, NFL here to talk about the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan, please do hit that big subscribe button down below. It helps me out a lot, people, when you do subscribe to the channel. Please make sure you hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. All right, so let's get into this, people. So we know what's happening with the number 1 overall pick. It is no secret at this point. It's going to be Caleb Williams. So there's no sort of mystery there, right? The mystery really is at number 9. And so I'm focused on that in this video and talking about what they could do at 9. I've talked about it in other videos as well, but now I got some new info here coming from Brad Biggs of the Chicago Tribune, Bears reporter, who says that he kind of, has a hunch of what direction they're going to go with at 9 if the board falls the right way. So here we go. This is what Biggs talked about. He says, I think wide receiver 2 is a need when you project ahead. Knowing Allen is 32 and on a 1-year deal, you can make a case center is a need if you're not high on the combination of Ryan Bates and Coleman Shelton. But number 9 is certainly not territory to draft a center. Defensive tackle feels like it's on the border of need/want as well. And number 9 might be too rich for any of the prospects at that position. So where does that leave Ryan Poles in preparation as preparation ramps up for the April 25th, 27th draft? I laid out 4 scenarios for the number 9 pick in a column last week after the trade for Allen. The 4th option would open a host of additional possibilities as it would involve a trade down. I would not rule out the possibility of a wide receiver at number 9. It's my hunch that Neighbors and Odunze will be high enough on the Bears board to be very much under consideration if either slides to the 9th pick. In fact, they're so attractive that my guess is Ryan Poles would not pull the trigger on a trade of the 9th pick until he's on the clock, unless he has an offer in front of him that is simply too good to pass up. All right, a lot to dissect here. Brad Biggs packed a lot in that little snippet, if you will, in his column. And so basically what he's saying is, if you stay at number 9, right? If you stay at 9 and one of the receivers falls to you, and we're assuming it's going to be either Rome Odunze or Malik Neighbors, not Marvin Harrison Jr., because that would be a shock. If one of those 2 receivers falls to you, it's almost like you have to take them because they're too good and the number 9 spot is too high to take a center, which I agree with, or a defensive player, which I don't necessarily agree with because I think Dallas Turner, a Jared Verse could certainly be worthy of a pick at number 9. But Brad Biggs disagrees there. He thinks that, they're not necessarily worthy of that number 9 selection. You might have to trade down to make it more worthy there. Center, I totally agree with, but not defensive tackle or defensive player. And so, taking a look at the fact that the Bears could take a receiver at 9, that would be incredible to me because it fits a need that we have. Keenan Allen, like he mentioned in the column, he's 32. He's not, a guy who's going to be here long term, so you have to have some development there. And I just think it's such a perfect scenario, man. It might be even more perfect than before we acquired Keenan Allen. You know why? Because before Keenan Allen, you were drafting one of these wide receivers to come in and just step in right away and ask them to produce. Like a lot of pressure on Rome Odunze or Malik Neighbors to come in and be the number 2 to DJ Moore. Now you can have one of them come in and they are just, developing properly under these 2 guys in DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, learning from 2 amazing vets, learning from 2 elite receivers, instead of being just forced to, hey, you got to produce, put up or shut up, that's it. So, they get a chance to actually develop and there's less pressure on them. So I would love it if they take one of those 2 guys. Honestly, to me, it's 3 scenarios. It's literally 3 scenarios that I think happen at 9. Number 1, if the receivers fall, I agree, Ryan Poles probably takes them. Number 2, he takes a defensive player. I think it's either going to be Dallas Turner or Jared Verse, an edge rusher. Or number 3, he's going to trade down. Those are the only 3 possibilities in my head. Now, the trade down part is interesting because he only has 4 picks in this draft. Ryan Poles does, so you know he's going to want more. But what is he going to do if one of the receivers falls to him, right? Because it's hard to trade down if you got elite options left. So if if the receivers are gone by 9, I think Ryan Poles more than likely trades down because he thinks he can get one of those defensive players at like maybe, 11, 12, or 15, whatever. He trades down a couple of spots. I think that's possible. So I would rank it. Number 1, he takes a receiver. Number 2, he trades down. Number 3, he takes a defensive player. And that's based off of kind of what Brad Biggs is saying. He's been on the money for a lot of what's happened in this offseason in terms of who the Bears would target in free agency and whatnot. So I think it's possible, and I would love that. So you'd be looking at it, one of the best wide receiver, rooms in the NFL. If we end up with Rome Odunze or Malik Neighbors, I mean, I could not wait to see that happening. But yeah, it all depends on how the board shakes out. So let me know what you guys think, man. At number 9, what do you want the Bears to do? Is taking a receiver not worth it now that we have Keenan Allen, or should we still do that over a defensive player like an edge rusher or trading down? Where do you stand on that? Leave a comment down below with your thoughts as always. Thanks for watching.